In the previous video, 24th video, we covered slokas 27 to 33 of chapter 3. In these slokas, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that our actions are impacted by the qualities of nature, that is sattva, rajas and tamas, and that we are inherently born with these qualities. The wise are aware that gunas impact action and they remain detached. Overcoming the material nature is not so easy for ordinary mortals like us, but the Lord recommends one solution. He says, surrender all your actions unto me, unto Lord Krishna, with single-minded focus and devotion. In the slokas that we would cover today, that is in the 25th video, we will cover slokas 34 to 39 of chapter 3. Indriyasyendrasyaarte रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्नवशमागच्छे तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्तिनौ. इन्द्रियस्य अर्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ. So indriyasya अर्थे रागद्वेषौ. Ragadvesha is attraction and hatred, or attraction and repulsion. This attraction and repulsion, that is ragadvesha, are indriyasya arte vyavastito. They are ingrained, they are rooted in every sense object. Tayoho vasham na agachet. So man should not be trapped, or he must not be swayed by these. He tau asya paripanti now. Tau, these two, because these two are, they are the principal enemies that create obstacle and stand in the way of redemption. So attraction and repulsion for objects are deeply ingrained in the senses towards sense objects. So one should not fall under the control of senses and sense objects, because they are the stumbling blocks to the path of spirituality and liberation. Now in the 33rd shloka, the Lord said that overcoming the vasanas, the inherent gunas, is a huge challenge. The solution Lord tells is that surrendering our actions to Krishna. So that is one way of overcoming them and getting spiritual. But the path of spirituality needs to be approached through different methods. Hence the Lord advises Arjuna to not come under the sway of material objects, as these are conflicting forces in the path of spirituality. All the different paths, the methods and practices preached by Lord have only one goal, that is to overcome the gunas until they are completely tamed and subdued and move forward in the path of spirituality towards liberation. So when a materialistic object, let us say a new car, when it's a new car, it is desirable, that is raga, attraction. So the same one, when the same car, when there are a few problems, when it becomes old, when it becomes obsolete, it becomes the repulsion takes over, and you find that in the market new state of art technology cars have been launched with enhanced features. So the old car now is repulsive, there is dvesha towards that. So every object, raga dvesha, is very much ingrained in that. So there is no end to this. We all know about how companies cleverly use marketing techniques to create craving for newly launched products. So ragadvesha, attraction and dislike, or attraction and repulsion, are ingrained in each and every material object, and if we allow them to control our lives are literally doomed. So the best solution is not to react to these. The pair of opposites, attraction and repulsion, they are a huge stumbling block in the path of spirituality, and we must cultivate the habit of being unyielding to these. The Lord has so far recommended different practices to us. Have faith and devotion in Krishna by doing selfless work, surrendering the fruits of action to Him. Both raga and dvesha are internal to us, and these have come to us because we've accumulated these over several births. So whether we like it or not, they are there within us and they need to be overcome. And hence by deploying all the methods that the Lord has suggested, we can overcome them. श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः paradharmat stvanushtitat स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः paradharmo भयावहः. स्वनुष्ठितात् paradharmat vigunaha swadharmah shreyan. Swanushtitat, well performed, paradharmat, well performed or accomplished, well accomplished, paradharmat. Paradharmat is duty of another. So one's own duty, even if not done perfectly, even if it is devoid of merit, is preferable to another person's duty well performed. Swadharme nidhanam shreyah. Nidhanam, death. So even death while performing one's duty is blessed. It brings blessedness to one. Paradharmo bhayavaha. Another's duty is fraught with fear. So Krishna says it's better to perform one's own prescribed duties, even if it is ill performed or even if it is devoid of merit, than doing another's duties. It is better to be discharging one's own prescribed duties or as doing another duties is dangerous. It is fraught with fear. So Lord Krishna in this sloka tells Arjuna that as a Kshatriya, he needs to fight. He needs to follow the Kshatriya dharma. Arjuna is a prince and he needs to stand up for his people and fight. Doing another's duty is dangerous because it distorts or it upsets the world order. Arjuna in chapter 1, he says that he would rather seek alms and lead the life of a mendicant than kill his near and dear ones in the battle. The Lord through this sloka makes it clear. He clearly warns Arjuna about the dangers of neglecting his duty. Any action that takes away a person from swadharma, the dharma of the Atma, should be clearly avoided. So a spiritual person, a karma yogi, should go on practicing his swadharma. The message is loud and clear. Better to die practicing your own swadharma than attempting the path of another, that is paradharma. People are born with different skill sets, different capabilities, different interests and ideals. So it's not appropriate for us to look down on others. Let all do their level best, following their respective paths to achieve their goals. Swami Vivekananda, giving his commentary on this sloka, said, the apple tree should not be judged by the standards of oak and vice versa. Arjuna uvacha atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Varshneya, Krishna who belongs to the Vrishni clan, ataha, then, ayam purushaha, anichan api. Icha is like desire, anichan, without any desire, that is unwillingly. So this man, even though not willing, balat niyojitaha iva kena prayuktaha papam charati. Balat is, it appears as if by force. Bayat niyojitaha iva kena prayuktaha papam charati. He commits sin. Kena prayuktaha, impelled by what? What mysterious force? Driven by what force does this person commit sin, even though unwillingly? So Arjuna spoke thus. Arjuna uvacha. What did he speak? O Varshneya, what force impels one to commit sinful acts even though unwillingly? So Arjuna has a doubt. He wants to know what is that mysterious force that impels people to commit sins. It's natural for every spiritual speaker to have a doubt. Arjuna too has a doubt. So he is asking, no one desires to commit sin voluntarily. If they do so unwillingly, what is that mysterious force that impels them to do so? What is the source of the evil? How can that force be neutralized? Just as the weeds should be pulled from the roots, likewise the origin of this force, this mysterious force that impels us to commit sins, should be rooted out. So Arjuna has this doubt. There are persons amidst us who are totally avoid sins, yet there are others who do not desire to do evil but come under its grip, and a third category of persons who do evil knowing very well that it is evil. So in the next sloka, the Lord will address Arjuna's query and he would give a solution to that. Shri Bhagavan uvacha kamayesha krodayesha rajoguna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyena miha vairinam. rajoguna samudbhavaha eshaha kamaha krodaha. So the desire originated from rajoguna. Both kama and krodha, these are the enemies which impel us to commit sins, and these two have originated from rajoguna samudbhavaha, from rajas. Eshaha mahashanaha, these two, that is kama krodha. Kama, it is insatiable, it doesn't satisfy. Mahapapma, both of them, both kama and krodha, they are grossly wicked. Yenam iha vairinam vidhi, vidhi is know. So know that, know these two, know this as the vairinam. Vairinam is enemy. So know this as the enemy that impel us to commit sins. So the Lord replies, it is kama, it is desire, which is born of rajogun, which when it comes in contact with material world, it transforms into wrath. So it is insatiable, and we know this as the enemy of the world. So the Lord explains in detail to Arjuna the root cause of all the sins. In chapter 2, in the sloka that where the Lord explained the ladder of fall, desire is listed as the starting point. It is kama, desire, which leads to krodha, anger. So these two twin evils are dangerous. Raga and dvesha, attachment and repulsion, they are only manifestations of these. But kama is the starting point. The 6 enemies, shadripu, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Kama, desire; krodha, anger; lobha, greed; mada, ego or arrogance; moha is attachment; matsarya, jealousy. These are the 6 enemies, the negative characteristics in us that prevent us from attaining salvation, that are stumbling blocks in the way of liberation. So even among these shadripus, you find that kama is listed as the first one. It is a starting point. The Lord uses many adjectives to warn us about these two evils, kama and krodha. He uses the word mahashanaha, that is, mahashanaha is all devouring, all consuming, just as a fire burns and consumes everything. So these two also, they are insatiable. The more you satisfy, the stronger is the greed for new things. So it is insatiable. You can't conquer these by satisfying them. So what do you do then? By not adding fuel to the fire, it will die a natural death. So the ignore them, reject the desire which is within us. The Lord again says these two are the root cause of all mahapapam, all evils, all crimes committed by us. Kama and krodha further get strengthened into lust and greed, and people go to any extent and they commit all kinds of sins, mahapapam, to achieve this kama. So Lord Krishna further calls them, the twin evils, as mahavairi. Mahavairi, the vairi is enemy, the greatest enemy of man. So once a man is controlled by these two, then his fall begins. Dhumena vriyate vannihi yata dharsho malena cha yatolbhena vrito garbha tata tene damavritam. Yata dhumena vahni malena adarshaha cha avriyate. Avriyate is covered. Dhumena is smoke. So Agni is covered by smoke. You are not able to see the fire which is burning so brilliantly because it's fully covered by smoke. Malena adarshaha. Malena is dust. Adarshaha, mirror. So just as a mirror is fully covered with the dust and therefore you are not able to see the bright mirror which is shining. Yata garbaha ulbena. Garbaha, the embryo, is covered by amniotic fluid. Tata tena idam avritam. Tata tena idam refers to knowledge. So knowledge is covered by tena, these two, that is these two, kama and krodha. Our atma is full of brilliance. It has knowledge, it is full of brilliance and it is shining, but we are not able to see it, we are not able to realize it because it's covered with layers of these two, that is desire and anger. So just as fire is covered by smoke, mirror by dust, embryo by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by layers of kama, that is desire and lust. When the dust is cleared from the mirror, it shows our reflection. The mirror itself shines. When the smoke is blown aside, the fire underneath burns brilliantly. When the amniotic fluid is removed, a new baby comes out from the womb. Likewise, the light of Atma, its brilliance, will manifest only if all these layers of desire and lust are removed. Avritam jnanametena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha kaunteya dushpurena analena. Analaha is fire. Dushpurena, it is insatiable. As far as fire is concerned, you keep on adding fuel to it, it is just insatiable. So, O Kaunteya, O Arjuna, Kama Rupena, this desire, in the form of desire, this is insatiable like fire. Jnaninaha Nitya Vairinaha. What else? It is the eternal enemy. Vairi is enemy. Nitya Vairi, it is the eternal enemy of Jnaninaha, of the wise. Jnanam Avritam. So knowledge is, Avritam is covered. It is covered by this eternal enemy of the wise, known as desire, which is insatiable. So Lord Krishna continues to reply, O Arjuna, knowledge is covered by this eternal enemy of the wise, known as desire, which is insatiable like fire. So in continuation of the previous shloka, the Lord explains how big an enemy this kama, the desire, is. He uses the term Nitya Vairi, eternal enemy. It's been traveling with us in our many births and has been harassing us. Hence Nitya Vairi. Even the wise, the learned, the devas, they succumb to desire and get trapped. So we've heard all those stories where even devatas like Indradev, Chandradev, they all have succumbed to these, that is succumbed to kama, and they've committed sins and they have even been cursed. The lesson is that we should be vigilant. So even if we consider ourselves simple persons, these two enemies have the potential to trap us. Lord Krishna also uses the word apurna. Purna is complete, satisfied. Apurna, insatiable. Want is satisfied, another one crops up. Satisfying one want makes us stronger and we are ready for the bigger one. So Lord Krishna again uses the word Nitya Vairi, the term everlasting foe of the wise. So a jnani who has overcome kama to a certain extent has to be constantly vigilant, because it's always there. This is a vairi which is an enemy which is continuously there in our lives. So we have to be constantly vigilant, and anytime we can slip. So summarizing what we've covered in today's video, Lord Krishna says that attraction and repulsion are, that is raga dvesha, they are deep rooted in the senses and one should not come under their sway. It is better to do our own duty even if we do not do it very well. It's better to do our own duty than doing someone else's duty. Arjuna asks what drives man to commit sin, and in reply Krishna replies that it is desire and anger, the twin enemies born of Rajoguna, that impels a person to commit sin. The Jivatma is covered by layers of desire, layers of vasana, and therefore one is not able to see the brightness of the Atma because of the layers of dust, layers of desire that has covered the Jivatma. And finally, Lord Krishna warns Arjuna. He tells that knowledge of the self is covered by this everlasting foe, that is this Nitya Vairi, which is desire, and therefore one should be constantly vigilant of this Vairi, of this enemy which is within us.